In this video, I'm going to talk about the importance of knowing your value as a professional auto detailer and how arguably most of your success in your professional auto detailing business hinges on your ability to understand your value and communicate that value. Coming up. What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Wilson Auto Detailing YouTube channel. My name is Luke Wilson. Now let me give you guys just a little bit of context of something that happened to me today and is actually a great picture of something that has happened to me for the past 7 years. I had a polishing / paint correction job that I had to do today on just a regular black sedan-sized car. Well, I was at my customer's house working, polishing the car for about 4 hours to do all of the necessary steps. Not to mention about 2 or 3 days before today, I actually did a full exterior detail, just regular detail, on that same sedan-sized car. Well, after I got done polishing that car, about 4 hours later, my customer came out to pay me and said, well, can you shine the tires? Now, at first, that doesn't seem like a very big thing to ask or a very high maintenance thing to ask. But it's actually a great picture of what so many customers do in the auto detailing world, in that a lot of people want way more than they actually pay for. So when my customer today asked me to shine the tires, I actually responded, no. Now, of course, 3 or 4 years ago when I was newer, when I was younger in the auto detailing industry, I probably would never have the confidence or security to actually say no when somebody asked me to do something like that, especially something that seems so simple. But the fact of it is, where is the line that gets drawn between what somebody's paying for and what they're getting, and then what you're just giving away for free? Because here's the thing, I know in my business, when you pay for Wilson Auto Detailing, I am already over-delivering in the areas that you're paying for. So for me to go and extend my reach even further and actually just do something just because you asked for it, even though you're not paying me for it, well, in order to just be successful in my business, eventually I, as the professional and as the expert, have to say no, draw the line in the sand, and say, this is what you're paying for, and this is what you're getting. Now, I want to talk about 4 very important things that will help you not only understand your value as a professional auto detailer even more, but also help you communicate that value. Number 1, people in the auto detailing industry as your customers will almost always try to get you to give more than what they're paying for. And it's extremely important to understand that as an auto detailer, you almost at a level have to assume that people are going to ask for more than they're paying for. This has happened to me time and time again in the auto detailing industry, and what I've found that not only in my own experience, but also in a lot of beginner detailers' experiences, they tend to, when they're starting their auto detailing business, really give away way too many of their services for free, and they far undervalue themselves and what they bring to the table. There is a power in being able to tell somebody that you are not going to do what they're asking for. And actually, we have it a little bit flipped in that the reason most detailers don't say no is because they don't want to lose business. They're afraid of losing clientele, especially when you're first starting out. You feel like you need every job that comes your way. So people are very afraid to say no because they don't want to disappoint their customers who they want to come back. But the thing is, when you tell somebody no, that you can't do that because it's just not included in what they're paying for, and you have other things and other places that you have to go and be able to do in order to continue in your business, people actually respect that a whole lot more than you would think. Being able to say no really shows that you're not desperate for business, and in fact, almost when you say no to people, it creates this thing in them as your detailing customer where they actually want you even more. Number 2, people, as a general rule, do not look at your auto detailing business like they look at the business of Walmart or Target. Would a person ever walk into Target and say, hey, I know this toothbrush costs, $10, but would you give it to me for $4.50? Of course not. Nobody would even dream of doing that. But it seems that they do that all the time to you as the owner of your auto detailing business. Now, you can't blame people or get frustrated with people because they do this. It's a very natural thing to do, and is what a lot of people are taught to do with businesses that don't seem so corporate. However, as the owner of your business and the professional expert auto detailer that you are, it is actually your job to be able to communicate to them that they cannot do that, and that is not how your business runs. I can give you guys another very recent example, because even after 7 years of me doing this stuff still happens to me all the time. 2 days ago, I was at a client's house and I was detailing a Land Rover, and I got a call from somebody who wanted some stuff, some paint correction done and some polishing done. Well, I said, I can do this, this, and this, exactly what you want, and this is the price. And he tried to bring me down $30. He said, can you do it for this? And so I actually just said very clearly over the phone, hey, my prices are calculated the way they are for a very specific reason, and if you'd like to do it cheaper, I'm sure that I could recommend you to somebody who can do it much cheaper, but I know the value that I bring to the table, and for that reason, I cannot lower my prices. They're calculated the way they are for a very good reason. And he actually responded very well and said, well, you know what? Can we just leave this service out, and can you go ahead and do this service and this service for this price? And I said, absolutely. And so you see in that scenario that even though I refused to do what he was asking in his negotiation, I wasn't afraid to stand my ground, and guess what? I didn't lose him as a customer, and I didn't lose him as a client. And not only that, but from that client, after I got done with the job at his house, he now wants me to do his father's car, his wife's car, and his son's car. And so that's actually 3 more clients that I just got out of that one job. And of course, that brings me back to the point number 1, that saying no and almost combating what people come at you and ask you with in the auto detailing world can actually benefit you in a lot of ways, because people respect it and almost look at you as the expert. Now, point number 3 is not only is it important to sometimes say no to specific services that people ask you to do, like when my client asked me to shine the tires and I simply said no, but sometimes it's even important to say no to entire jobs. And of course, that's not something that's taught a lot as a business owner, and it's especially something that's not taught a lot in the auto detailing world, in that once again, when you're a beginner, you want as much business as you can have. But the fact of it is, you don't want every client and customer that calls you. You don't want everyone's business. For example, I had a lady call me over the phone and ask me to detail her minivan. Well, she was a little dishonest with me over the phone about what condition it was in. Well, of course, that same little fear creeps in of, well, I don't want to lose this customer. Should I just go and try it anyways? But in my opinion, in that specific situation, it was more important to me to say no to the vehicle and say no to the job and lose the job completely than it was for me to get the job, provide my services, and then her be disappointed at the results. I would rather say no completely than have her associate almost bad detailing and bad services with my business. Now, the crazy thing about this situation is that after I said, hey, you need to come pick up your car, she actually asked if she could exchange her van with another car that she wanted detailed. So I actually kept her as a client, kept her as a customer, and got another job that day, so I wasn't without work. And I actually got another job out of me saying no to that client. So once again, that fear of losing customers really is just not the reality. Now, the 4th and final point to help you professional detailers understand your value and the importance of communicating that value to your customers is simply to understand that as the professional, it is your responsibility to teach and educate your customers, because your customer doesn't know what they don't know. In other words, I actually have a fundamental list of things that I go over with all of my new clients before I ever show up to detail their cars. For example, one of those things is I always educate my customers on bug splatter, because once again, if you're a pro auto detailer, you know that bugs, if they're left for a long enough time, will etch into the clear coat. Well, 90% of your customers have no idea that that's true. So what happens when you don't communicate that? You clean off the bug, but there's still an outline, there's still a stain, there's still an etching. It looks like the bug is there, but it's not. It's actually a permanent thing that can't be fixed in just a regular detail. It has to be wet sanded and polished away. Well, your customer doesn't know that. So when they come outside, they actually have an expectation for their front bumper to look incredible. And because you didn't communicate that there might be some bug splatter and some bug etchings, that's actually a repairing issue and not a cleaning issue, they think that you didn't do the job that you showed up to do. And they either don't want your business business again. They feel like they're paying for something they didn't really get done. And 3, they're probably not gonna call you back. And so that's just one single example, but I have an entire list of things that I actually require my customers to talk to me over the phone before I ever show up, because I wanna make sure that I'm coming at this as the expert, as the teacher, as the educator. And the thing is, it's a double-sided coin. Not only do you get to set the expectation for your customers so that you don't have a bunch of disappointed clientele, but you also have them looking at you as the expert, and they go from telling you what they want to asking you what they should expect and what they should pay for, because they look at you as the expert and they begin to realize that you know a whole lot more about their car than even they do. So guys, I hope that helped you and brought some value and good content to your life in your own professional auto detailing business and professional detailing world. Once again, my name's Luke Wilson, and if you're new to the Wilson Auto Detailing community, then make sure you consider subscribing by hitting this tiny little red button right here. It's very easy, and I come out with daily videos of tips and tricks for the pro detailers and for the car enthusiasts on not only business skills and communication skills like this video, but also things like products to use, tools to use, and strategies to use. So make sure if you're new, you consider subscribing. Also, if this video added some good value to your life, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, video ideas, or advice, make sure to link that up in the comments section below. And some of the best advice comes from you guys, the Wilson Auto Detailing community. So make sure to hook up with everybody in the comment section below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, I'll see you guys in the next video.